Courts grant 500 million naira bail to Malemi, wife, son. 5 fell dead as bandits storm National Park Service office in Oyo. Kano youth turn to entrepreneurship amid rising unemployment. On the foreign scene, Burkina Faso authorities say new coup plot foiled, arrest underway. Hello and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I am Idris Baturi. Now, Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court in Abuja has granted former Attorney General and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami and 2 others bail of 500 million naira with 2 sureties each. The judge ordered that the sureties must own landed properties in Asokoro, Maitama or Gwarimpa, and that all property documents be verified by the court. The sureties must also submit affidavit of means, while Malami is required to deposit his travel documents and must not leave the country without court permission. Malami, his son Abdulaziz, and an employee of Rahmania Properties, Hajia Asaba Bashir, are remanded at Kuje prison until bail conditions are perfected. The court also instructed that they submit 2 recent passport photographs. Justice Nwite fixed February 17 for the commencement of the trial on the 16-count money laundering charge filed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission.
Well, on the issue of self-recognizance, it's actually in respect of the first. Yes. Well, we are not disappointed about that. Issues of bail is entirely at the discretion of the courts. The courts based on the affidavit evidence of what it has rightly held that it is satisfied that the defendants, particularly the court defendants, will not in any way interfere with the prosecution witnesses and make himself available trial. So the courts have been given those conditions. It's entirely at the discretion of the court. So we are okay.
A former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, has filed a lawsuit against Major General Danjuma Hamisu Ali Kefi, retired, for allegedly linking him to terrorism financing. Yahaya's former army spokesman, retired Brigadier General Sani Osman, said the former army chief is taking legal action to defend his integrity after Ali Kefi made the claim during a December 2025 interview on Arise Television. The remarks were later amplified by Sahara reporters. Yahaya has served legal notices to both media platforms over what he describes as a defamatory report and publications. According to Usman, Yahaya's legal action is aimed at protecting his honor, discouraging the spread of unverified allegations, and safeguarding public trust in national institutions. Yahaya remains committed to professionalism, the rule of law, and accountability, and will not allow malicious falsehoods to go unchallenged. Now, bandits have attacked the National Park Service NPS office in Oloka, Orire local government area of Oyo State. The attack that happened on Tuesday night led to the death of 5 National Park Service officials. Police authorities in the southwestern state confirmed the incident on Wednesday. Although the spokesman for the Oyo State Police Command, Ayanlade Olayinka, confirmed the attack, he noted that security chiefs are currently en route to this affected area. As of the time of filing this report, the bodies of the victims have not yet been recovered, as they are believed to be located within the surrounding forest area. Now, gunmen suspected to be bandits have abducted a photojournalist in Kaduna State. Umar Iyale, who is reportedly nursing an undisclosed ailment, was taken from his home at about 9 p.m. on Monday in the Danhonu 2 community of Chikul local government area. Kaduna State Police confirmed the incident. Spokesperson DSP Mansur Hassan said an operation has been launched to apprehend the bandit and rescue the journalist. He also appealed to residents of Danhonu and Millennium City to provide credible information that could aid the operation. The abduction comes after nearly 2 years of relative peace in Kaduna, following the state government collaboration with security agencies to improve safety across communities. Now, gunmen attacked herders in Gero community just south local government area of Plateau State on Tuesday night, killing one and injuring another. Ibrahim Yusuf Babayo, state chairman of the Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association, confirmed the incident, describing it as gruesome. The victims, returning from shopping to their cattle shed around 8 p.m., were ambushed. The deceased has been identified as Zakaria Abdullahi, while Jibrin Musa was critically injured. Magban accused members of the Birom ethnic group of carrying out the attack and reported the matter to security agencies, including Operation Enduring Peace, the DSS, and the police. The Birom Youth Molder Association denied involvement, claiming the victims were shot during a confrontation among herders and miners. Magban called on security agencies to intensify effort to apprehend attackers and urged its members to remain calm, law-abiding, and allow authorities to carry out investigations. Suspected armed herders on Tuesday evening killed 5 farmers in Udeku Mavia community, Mbakuyol Council Ward in the Turan district of Kwande local government area, Benue State. Local sources say the attack occurred around 4 p.m. while residents were harvesting yams and bambara nuts, disrupting farming activities in the area. The chairman of Kwande local government area, Tarsua Yerkwan, confirmed the killings, noting that the attackers lingered after the assault, heightening tension. He described Kwande as a vulnerable border area with Cameroon, where difficult terrain complicates security operations. Yarkwan warned that repeated attacks during harvest season threaten food security. Community leaders say residents continue to suffer assault, destruction of crops and homes, and forced closure. Now, patients across Nigeria are bracing for tougher days in public hospitals as resident doctors prepare for an indefinite strike. The action follows what doctors describe as the federal government's repeated failure to honor agreements reached on their welfare, despite months of talks and written commitment. Habiba Tajayi has more.
Resident doctors across 91 tertiary health institutions have withdrawn their services indefinitely, effective from 12 midnight Monday, January 12th. The decision affects teaching hospitals and federal medical centers nationwide, facilities that serve millions of Nigerians who depend on public health care. The doctors say the strike is unavoidable. They accuse the federal government of failing to implement a memorandum of understanding signed to address issues ranging from allowances to working conditions. Government officials insist they are acting in good faith, pointing to a 90 billion naira annual increase in health workers' allowances as proof of commitment to stability in the sector. But the National Association of Resident Doctors disagrees. Its president, Dr. Mohammed Hosman, says repeatedly delays, shifting positions, and incomplete implementation have eroded trust.
When they were capturing these areas that were not paid until end of last year, they didn't capture it in the budget as a personnel expenditure. They said they captured it in service-wide vote. Eventually, that money was nowhere to be found. And then they had to run back to the president to remobilize money to be paid. So they want to put this same professional allowances table that they corrected. It's a correction, it's not a salary increment. They want to still do the same method so that by next month, the month after that, we'll still come back to the same problem. Yesterday's meeting, as presided over by the Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment, was very positive. Because as we took each and every of these 16 items, we agreed that what was in the MOU was going to be done. This morning, I saw press statements coming out of the Ministry of Health, even going against what was discussed yesterday. So even amongst the federal government, while the Ministry of Labour is conciliating amongst everybody and saying, let's go and implement the MOU, the Ministry of Health apparently is looking at issues differently. I hope that harmonization will happen between them so that we'll finalize on these issues, solve them. There's still time so that Monday doesn't necessarily have to happen.
For resident doctors, the dispute is not only about pay. It is about fatigue, safety, and a system that keeps asking them to sacrifice without keeping its words. In hospital, the impact is already visible. Patients face longer waiting times, postponed surgeries, and limited access to emergency care, especially in overstretched public facilities.
Over 10,000 doctors have left Nigeria. Our numbers as resident doctors has dropped from 25,000 in 2014 across all of the federation to now less than 11,000. So the work is enormous. Already patients are suffering because of lack of numbers, and it is important for federal government to sort out this issue so that this suffering will be mitigated.
It will increase death rates actually, because there won't be proper support in the medical line actually, because the doctors are like the head of the medical line. So we need them as the backbone that they are in the hospital and in medical field actually.
And government have to pay them. And if the government pay them, they call by, because we are very suffer if they go strike. That's why.
Health analysts warn that nationwide strike poses a deeper problem. They say persistence, industrial dispute, poor planning, and weak follow-through are widening crack in Nigeria's healthcare system, pushing it further behind global standards and placing lives at risk. As stock store and hospital struggles, ordinary Nigerians are once again caught in the middle. Habibat Hajayi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, ahead of the 2027 general polls, Datti Baba-Ahmed has pledged to be loyal to the Labour Party, on whose platform he wrote to be vice presidential candidate in the 2023 polls. Baba-Ahmed, who 56, was running mate to Peter Obi, who contested for the presidency but lost to Bola Tinubu, the then presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC. Obi later dumped the LP 2 years after the last election. He has pitched his tent with the African Democratic Congress, ADC, a political platform backed by coalition leaders to wrest power from the ruling APC. Addressing a press conference on Wednesday at the LP national headquarters in Abuja, Baba-Ahmed said he won't follow Obi's path. The former Kaduna North lawmaker pledged to make himself available to fix Nigeria come 2027. He explained that he is not convinced by the ADC, describing members of the coalition as disgruntled politicians.
I share the pain and agony of chronic misgovernance that follows successive fraudulent elections and that continues to be manifest in deadly insecurity, a failing economy, and aggravated corruption. Having witnessed the quiet exits of dear comrades that we achieved election victory with in 2023, it genuinely behoves on me as a loyal party member to declare that I remain in Labour Party.
Leader, oh, leader, leader, oh, leader, party you know we know, leader.
The Osun State chapter of the People's Democratic Party has accused the All Progressives Congress of colluding with the police over event following the resumption of local government workers under the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees on Monday. In a statement, PDP chairman Sunday Bisi alleged that the APC's defense of the police mounts to justification of unprofessional conduct and an attempt to sustain an illegal occupation of council secretariat by officials removed by court judgment. BC cited a Court of Appeal ruling affirming the sack of APC elected officials and the February 22, 2025 local government elections, describing any APC claims of reinstatement as false and unsubstantiated. He vowed to pursue legal action to defend the mandate of the Osun people and hold those acting illegally accountable. Earlier, the Osun APC had accused the state government of inducing legal crisis, while the police warned against actions that could disrupt law and order, following Nulger's announcement that local government workers would resume duties after an 11-month strike. Now moving on to more stories. A ghastly accident along the Ajaokuta-Lokoja Road in Kogi State has claimed the lives of 5 people and left 7 others injured. Eyewitnesses said the crash occurred on Tuesday around 11:35 a.m. in Gidambassa, a suburb of Lokoja, when a Toyota Avensis traveling at high speed lost control while trying to overtake another vehicle and collided with a truck. The vehicle was carrying 12 passengers, including the driver. Kogi State FRSC Sector Commander Tenimu Yusufe Tuku confirmed that 5 people, including 2 children, died at the scene, while 7 others sustained serious injuries. The victims were taken to Ekpe Hospital, Asko Hospital, and Specialist Hospital in Lokoja and Ajaokuta for treatment. Recovered items, including 2 vehicles, phones, and luggage, have been handed over to the police. The FRC urged drivers to avoid dangerous overtaking to reduce preventable deaths on highways. Now, historically, Kano has remained the enterprise hub of northern Nigeria. A strategic location, large population, and accommodating business culture continue to position the state as a center of commerce in the region. With Nigeria's rising unemployment rates, youth entrepreneurship in Kano is no longer just a tradition. It has become a means of survival. As white-collar job grows increasingly scarce, many young people are turning to business, confronting risks, stiff competition, and economic uncertainty. In this report, Abdulaziz Ibrahim examines how young entrepreneurs in Kano are navigating these challenges and the reforms it are supporting their success.
For centuries, Kano has served as a commercial nerve center for northern Nigeria, connecting traders to national and international supply chains. Recent studies indicate that in Nigeria's most populous state, at least 300,000 jobs must be created annually to tackle unemployment. Today, many university graduates now dominate these markets, venturing into entrepreneurship as formal employment opportunities remain limited.
The young people are overtaking, the old ones due to, the digitalization of the business. People are now on net, they are always on their phone, so they can, make purchases, they can put order and what have you. The only challenge, we just look at it, is young people enter business, they just enter the business without much knowledge.
Despite the opportunities, young entrepreneurs face persistent challenges. Volatile exchange rates, rising logistics costs, and poor storage facilities often determine profit or loss even before the goods reach the market. I've been in the importation of phones and laptops for the past 15 years, but the rising prices these days have wiped out profits. A laptop I once sold for 30,000 naira now costs nearly 100,000 naira, and people always complain that they don't have money. The prices change daily, making planning difficult. Still, we try as much as we can to adapt and hope that stability returns. At Kantinkwari Textile Market, opportunities exist at every level, from established dealers to young traders operating with small capital, learning pricing and negotiation through daily experience. Textile entrepreneur Inua Musa says opportunity alone is not enough to guarantee success.
Now I'm expecting my container to land at the month of 2 or 3. My expectation for the money of clearance is maybe 20 million, as I told you. But the way things are changing in Nigeria, maybe you budget the money already for the container to land. So before the time, you will see that the rate has dropped to maybe 21 million, maybe 22 million. You get it? So that makes things to be very hard actually for people.
In the agribusiness sector, Babuga Sanusi recounts losing millions of naira to market crashes and inadequate storage, a setback that forced him to rethink his approach through value addition and improved planning.
That was 2 years ago. I bought Zobo for 25 million, and then I lost all. I can say I lost all the money because almost 99% of the money was lost because I lost over 23 million there. So, and I said, like, what can we do with this, with the same Zobo that we lost a lot of money? we can't just be packaging Zobo. Zobo is everywhere. Like, is there anything we can do to add more value to that Zobo, and then it should be in a packaged with different flavors?
Nevertheless, government needs to help the situation. Honestly, the environment is not helping. The exchange rate is high, but the issue of exchange rate is another issue. It's another issue entirely. Nigeria is not productive, and once you are not productive, your exchange rate will not be favorable for you. So it's the young people that will change the situation.
At a recent engagement with youths in the region, the Kano State Commissioner for Information and Internal Affairs said the state government is committed to youth employment and engagement in 2026 with record budgetary allocations.
This government has set aside and also decided to make this 2026 a year for the youth, a year for the employment of the youth, a year for the engagement of the youth. So this year is the own, and this is the time we are having the highest allocation of budgetary allocation. We are talking about 1.47 trillion. So there are a lot of things that this government is ready to do.
While many young entrepreneurs are eager to see how these promises will be implemented, they continue to take calculated risks in pursuit of financial stability. With the right skills, discipline, and supportive policies, experts say youth-driven business could remain a powerful engine of growth in one of Nigeria's most competitive commercial states. Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Kano.
In business, electricity distribution companies recorded improved revenue in the third quarter of 2025 as the federal government paid 458.75 billion naira in electricity subsidies. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission says DISCOs collected 570.21 billion naira out of 706.61 billion naira billed between July and September, rising collection efficiency to 80.7%, up from about 76% in the previous quarter. Despite the Band A tariff, subsidies still covered nearly 59% of generation company invoices due to frozen consumer tariffs and rising costs. Ikeja Disco recorded the highest collection efficiency at 100%, while Kaduna posted the lowest at about 46%. NERC says stronger revenue collection is vital to sustaining Nigeria's power supply. Now, away from Nigeria, authorities in Burkina Faso say they have foiled a fresh coup plot with arrest already underway. The alleged plan was uncovered late Saturday night, January 3, before it could be executed. Speaking in a televised address, Security Minister Mahamadou Sana said the plot involved coordinated attacks and targeted assassinations of both civilian and military leaders, including head of state, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. He said the operation was expected to begin around 11 p.m., but was thwarted through timely intelligence. Investigations are ongoing with suspects to be prosecuted. Authorities say security remains on high alert, praising intelligence agencies for averting what they describe as another attempt to destabilize the country. And now in sports, the Confederation of African Football has appointed Somali referee Omar Artan as the center official for the AFCON 2025 quarter-final clash between Nigeria and Algeria. The Super Eagles will face the Desert Foxes in one of the standout fixtures of the last 8 stage. Algeria booked their place with a narrow 1-0 victory over DR Congo, while Nigeria cruised into the quarter-finals after a dominant 4-0 win against Mozambique. CAF's choice of Omar Artan underscores confidence in the experienced official who has handled several high-profile continental matches. With both teams eyeing a semi-final spot, attention will also be on the officiating as 2 African heavyweights go head-to-head. And with that, we've come to the end of the news update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and also watch us live on YouTube for more news programs and documentaries. I am Idris Baturi, thanking you for being with us. Good evening.